Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Live with Alan and Greg, and our guest M from A Continuing Education. So, everyone,
Emily,
say hello if you are in the chat room. So, how's everyone doing today? Having a pretty decent
I had
day?
a busy morning, not as busy as Emily, but I had a doctor's appointment that I arrived 2 hours early for, thinking it was at
Wow.
11, thinking it was at 9. I show up at 11. That's for my other appointment, like Wednesday. And so I went downtown and I wanted a Reuben sandwich, but I was too early for the good cart. So I muddled around, did some errands, and just went back about an hour-long train ride back and forth.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Emily, you were in court trial.
We were going to have a trial, but it got moved
Oh
at the
yes.
last minute based on some document production issues and things like that. So I got to do some other work instead.
So they bumped it a week,
Yeah.
or a week before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I got to I had an appellate brief due today too, so I just got to focus on that and finish it. So it all worked out.
Okay, yeah. Now, see, we're two retired dudes, or like I'm retired. Alan's not. So I had a real tough day again. Just
Yeah.
Got to read whenever you wanted and run the errands you needed.
I know I had to make a video today, and
Did you do your walk, Greg?
I did do a brief walk.
Yeah, kind of chilly
was-
willy out.
Well, what happened is that it had started snowing, and it
Really?
wasn't very heavy snow. wasn't really sticking, but I decided not to walk, and so I drove up to our lodge.
Also,
We'd
you
have
did
to- So I did the treadmill
treadmill.
one instead of a walk.
Cool.
But,
Yeah,
That's good.
it's good to have options.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You've been doing that every day now for a while, huh?
Just about every day.
That's
For
great.
a couple of years.
At least I started regularly when I was living in Washington State,
Oh, you did. Okay.
and it was just one of those things where it was COVID, and I started a little bit before COVID, but they let me start working anytime I wanted to, so I started at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then basically by 2:30 I could say, I've done my at least 8 hours, 8.5. So
Yeah.
I
There's-
used to walk in the afternoon.
Yeah. There's a 5:30 a.m. hot yoga class at my gym most
Ah,
weekday mornings that if I can hit it, it's kind of my favorite, but
wow.
sometimes hard to get to.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of those, not recently, but yeah, you sweating those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But the gym is just right around the corner from my house, so I can go and be back and showered by 7, so it's not so bad.
Do you work at home or do you have to go to the office?
I mostly work at home, honestly. The firm I work for is actually in a different town than where I live. So it's people that I've worked for in person in the office years ago. So they know me, I know them, they know how productive I can be and things like that. But I still travel to go to court and depositions and things like that. Like I'll be back up there on Thursday for a deposition. So
Can you tell us what state you live in?
yeah, I'm in Alabama, so
Okay.
I live in the
Yeah.
Birmingham metro area.
Do you like college football?
I went to Auburn University, so yes, I do. I mean,
Oh.
not that my team's doing very well this year.
No,
but,
Auburn. Bama, though, they're always good.
Well, and my husband is an Alabama fan, so I live in a mildly divided household. So he went from being very upset on Saturday to his spirit significantly rising when they still made it into the playoff on Sunday. So
Yeah,
although
I
I
live
was
in Georgia.
buy
I
it.
lived in Georgia for a while, so I like the dogs. I
Mhm.
root for them over Bama. But
Yeah.
I have some friends in Alabama. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're loyal fans.
It's a very college football heavy
Oh
state.
yeah,
Well, there are no pro sports here
right.
except for some
Just
minor league
in
teams.
NASCAR,
But
but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's Talladega.
yeah,
That's fair.
Talladega.
Let's take a quick peek at our comments. Hello,
Yep.
Lee. Hello, James. Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah.
And people saying hi. Goatman. Hello, hello. I forget where Goatman's from.
New Zealand or
New Zealand.
Oh,
yeah, I think
wow.
he is.
My sister
Mhm.
just flew back from Australia today.
Oh wow,
Yesterday.
there you go. Perth.
No,
Right?
she was outside of Sydney, I think, for work.
Not that I know it, I just know Perth is an excellent beach.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hey Pat.
Lee was working on her home library.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
I've done a lot of work in my home library recently, so it's okay. I like having a well-ordered library.
Oh, and it's a great time of year to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Yep. And Larry's here. Have fun. Be safe.
Hey Larry.
Goodness is technically Australia, but the same
Oh.
neck of the woods.
Okay, Australia.
Okay. One day I'll visit. I'd like to visit Australia, but I just
Oh, that's
dread.
cool, Pat.
I just dread getting on an airplane for like what 12 hours it would take to get down there, or 18 hours.
Well, I think total flight time was around 30 hours. I think her flight from DFW was 17 to
Mm.
Brisbane.
Oh,
I'm not sure how it worked on the way back, but
I thought you didn't like spiders very much, Greg.
I like spiders well enough.
You don't mind them.
well enough.
I mean, they're fine. I mean,
You have to in Australia.
you do. There's some very deadly spiders in Australia.
Yeah, I like spiders.
Now, I remembered I had a house in Manassas, and for whatever reason, we had a lot of wolf spiders in that house.
Ugh.
And what I used to do is, if I see a wolf spider, I'd grab a jar, put it over the spider.
Mhm.
Spider would get the wolf spiders are just mean. They will attack the jar. And you attack the jar, and I slip the lid under. They take them out of the
Mhm.
basket. The ghost spider, get out of here.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
But I was told later that house spiders don't survive in the wild.
Oh.
That
They're
they're
like-
used to living in a comfy,
Yeah.
comfy.
Not
Yeah.
domesticated
Yeah.
exactly, but they've
Now you
adapted.
just feel bad about yourself.
But I try.
You tried.
So Emily, here's Pat. Emily, I have a dear friend and colleague whose husband played for Auburn. But
That's
quite a while.
really cool. Very, very cool.
Here's Pat. Greg, I've read a great deal about spiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that in one of the Tchaikovsky?
Yeah, Adrian Tchaikovsky,
Okay,
Children of
yeah.
Time. I think it's one of the best science fiction novels of the 20th century or
Really?
21st century.
Okay.
Now, I don't read a lot of new science fiction. I read mostly older science fiction, but still, it's really a great book. I highly recommend it, but I always ask people, are you scared of spiders?
Yeah.
Some people are scared of spiders, but
I feel like I can deal with Shelob. Is that enough?
Sheila,
From Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Shelob, and yeah, where Frodo
I've
and Sam.
never read that. I'm like, it's one of my claims to fame. No, I've never read Lord of the Rings. Never read The Hobbit. I've tried to read The Hobbit several times, and I don't know. Can't get into it.
I adore it. I'm doing a read along of Lord of the Rings starting in January.
Oh shoot! We're We're doing Gravity's Rainbow January, February, and
Yeah.
another one.
That'd be
I
a
would-
lot to do at the same time.
Yeah, I would do that though. I should read it. I'm sure I'll probably love it.
I just made my 2026 reading plans video today
Mm-hmm.
of my totally ambitious projects that I probably won't get to all of them, but I did not put Lord. I was thinking about that because I was thinking someone's doing Lord of the Rings. I thought,
Well, Randy's doing it right now.
oh yeah,
His book club's doing it right now. So
I'm sure there'll be read-alongs next year of Lord of the Rings.
constantly. I think
I mean, you could always start with it. Hey, read along Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
3 months.
somebody will join.
Some people will join.
Yeah.
Yep. Greg, I just read that one. Chris, Liminal Spaces. I'm just finishing up my end of the year reading, and then I'm going to start reading Spring Snow early. Okay. We're doing a group read of the Sea of Fertility Quartet.
I think I saw your video on that, Mishima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
a lot of people are joining. I mean, it's sort of a rough set of books to get people to go into.
Okay. I'll admit I'm woefully ignorant when it comes to Japanese literature.
Me too. Admittedly, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like I said, Emily, this is an example of me going in for the free education.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chris has been there to Japan and studied, and I've already watched like a longish documentary.
It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so what's the premise of the quartet?
Okay, the premise is there. I don't quite know how to pronounce the Japanese names.
No
but there's a
judgment from
main
me.
character whose last name is Honda. I know how to pronounce Honda or Honda.
Yeah.
And he gets in the first book, he meets a good friend, and then presumably it's not spoiler. Something happens to his friend because in the next book, it's like 10, 15 years later. He thinks he sees someone who's a reincarnation of his friend.
Oh, okay.
And then in the third book, there is a third reincarnation of his friend. And in the fourth, there's just knowing the basic plot, there's kind of a bit of spoilers, just inherent that the guy's going to die.
Yeah, over and over, I guess.
Over and over again.
Okay.
But Mishima was an interesting character. He was very pro-Japanese, militantly pro-Japanese. And I guess Chris will help us. Towards the end of his life, he was trying to bring back the samurai class.
Oh, okay.
And it was sort of a rebellion that did not succeed. And he committed seppuku after he finished the last novel of this quartet and then committed seppuku.
Wow.
Yeah, Jay McInerney gives him from a New York Times review, a blurb from Bright Lights Big City fame.
So Chris says he's not a fan of spiders.
Yeah, not a fan of spiders.
He lives in New Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be big spiders there.
Well, the thing is, as I understand New Mexico, there is a lot of desert, but there's a lot of mountainous areas too.
Yeah. That's true.
And I think one of the mountainous areas in New Mexico is one of the coldest places to live in the United States.
That's interesting.
Chris can correct me on that.
The desert doesn't hold its heat. I know from living decades in the Phoenix area.
Yeah, it's true.
Chris says, I'm doing the Lord of the Rings read along starting in May.
See, there you go, Alan. You can come in.
I'm gonna jump on that, Chris. I'll with you at the helm. That'll be good. I don't have any plans yet for May. I know of. More coffee.
So Chris says, Sea of Fertility is a wonderful way to crack into Japanese lit if you're interested.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Leslie from LA, Gers and Purrs. Happy Monday. So David says, I've never read Mishima. I've never got good vibes off of him. I think there's a film of his final showdown The tetralogy sounds interesting. Yeah, it really is.
It does sound interesting.
I've had it on my shelf since the 80s,
Mhm.
Oh,
and I've just never read it. Say, this just looks too hard for me to read, and you put it on the shelf and say, maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Someday is January.
Yeah, I'm kind of planning a 12 days of Bookmas. Instead of like Bookmas like the beginning of December, I'm doing the 12 days of Bookmas from Christmas to Epiphany. So like
mhm.
December 25th through I think January 5th. And two of the videos I'm trying to kind of plan are my extremely ambitious, totally unrealistic, will not be accomplished 2026 TBR. But another I think I'm considering doing is like a 40 before 40 list that I can't just, I'm waffling on that one because I feel like I'm going to set myself up for failure if I do that, but I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I felt really kind of neat just going through all the possible books that I could read
Hmm.
through the year. And they said, I'm not a mood reader.
Okay.
I'm really a planner.
Hmm.
And I I leave a little bit of room, but I just like how
I like the idea of a plan, and then I always stray from it.
that's
so-
that's fine too, So we'll see. That's going to be released on Thursday.
I'll be excited to see what's on it.
Yep. And then Friday afternoon, I start driving to Florida.
Oh yes, you're going on a cruise.
I'm on a cruise to the Caribbean.
That'll be fantastic.
It goes all the time.
Yeah.
Do you normally do that this time of year? Like take a vacation like that?
My wife likes to get away from winter, and
At
she likes
least once a year.
to go to beachy places. So,
Mhm.
a cruise is not necessarily a beachy place, but it's down in the Caribbean, tropical. So, when she says, "You want to go to the Caribbean?" I go, "Well, maybe somewhere else." And she says, "All my pickleball friends are going on this Caribbean cruise," and I'm going, "Okay, let's go."
That's where we're going.
Next time, maybe Perth. Nice beach in Perth.
Mm,
I've never gone on a cruise.
Me neither.
well, you should. There are some people who will absolutely hate a cruise,
Hmm.
because it is crowded. A
Hmm.
lot of people. There are no real quiet places on a cruise ship to sit down and read a book.
Yeah.
On the last cruise, we had a spa,
Oh.
an indoor pool, and it was an adults only spa,
Hmm.
which was nice. It just means you can't bring your teenagers and your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had music playing, but it was spa music, which is just sort of like light piano,
Background music.
that you can ignore. But in other parts of the ship, they have actual music and singing. And I actually went to one of the desks and say, "Is there a quiet place on this cruise ship?" And the woman just kind of looked at me and went into the back room and talked to someone. And he says, "Well, this restaurant over here is usually quiet in the afternoons."
I might have too much fun on a cruise.
But the thing, hold on. It's crowded. It's noisy. There's lots and lots of food.
Mhm. Lots of buffets.
Lots of buffets, some sit-down restaurants. Depending on your cruise ship, there's some upscale restaurants you can go to.
Okay.
They usually cost $30 a person, $40 a person,
Mhm.
extra, but the meals are usually worth it.
I'll say it. I mean, not to like weird you out, but right before you go on this cruise, but it has always made me feel like a little bit weird. Like, how do they keep all this food fresh for so long out there in the middle of the ocean?
Freezers.
I know, but like, then it's all just frozen stuff.
Has to be.
I don't know.
Has to be.
I get like the mild ick.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get fresh fruits and vegetables
Hmm.
on that kind of, Well, you are in the Caribbean, so they could go to port.
That's fair. If
and
you
find
like
stuff.
go into port somewhere, you can.
Now, the one thing is, do you drink a lot of alcohol?
No, not now.
Not now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an occasional glass of wine.
Yeah. Well, the thing about a cruise ship is they make a lot of money off alcohol.
Oh yeah.
I remember on one cruise ship, I did not buy an alcohol package.
Oh, that's where they get.
So what happens
I
was
bet
that
it's expensive.
this was going down. This was another Caribbean cruise. This was like 10 years ago. And during dinner, I ordered myself a beer.
Hmm.
And they had Red Stripe beer from Jamaica. And it was $10 a bottle.
Mhm.
So I said, well, you're on a cruise, just suck it up. And so one day we went to Jamaica. And we would go walking around the tourist area. And in the tourist area, they were selling a 6-pack of Red Stripe beer to the tourists for $5.
Hmm.
$3.99.
That sounds about right.
So you figured, okay, I'm sure the cruise ship gets a little bit better deal than $5 off the 6-pack because that was the markup for the tourists.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking, how much are they making off my $10 beer? I'm guessing it cost them maybe $1, $2 a beer,
If that.
if
Maybe.
that. So they're making $9 in profit off me because they don't make money off their rooms, I'm told.
Hmm.
I mean, you make a little, but it depends on also.
It's all the food and drinks.
It's all food and drinks, for the most part. The money you pay up front covers the essentials.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like just like your basic overhead kind of.
Yeah. And then when you're on the cruise, you have port days, and you can take excursion trips, which are overpriced and
Hmm.
very touristy.
Mhm.
And then you have shows at night.
You have to pay extra for those?
No, the shows are
Okay.
almost always. I mean,
Okay.
there may be some premium shows on some ships, but the ships I've been on were totally free. And their performers are usually okay. They're not going to be your world-class famous
Mhm.
singers, but they're decent enough. And
Yeah,
my favorite,
they have stand-up comedy sometimes and magicians.
they,
they-
they do.
Magicians, cool. I like
It
that.
was really kind of funny because on the last cruise I went, they had a magician who had a big show. I say Tuesday night. And he went to it. And said, it was okay. He was a fine musician. And then on Wednesday, he was doing a smaller club venue. Now, in the main show, he always asks for audience volunteers to come up and does his magic trick with them. And in the club venue, my wife was doing something else, so I went there alone. And I got called up to help participate in his magic trick.
Oh, wow.
And he did a few magic tricks. And I'll tell you one thing. When you're up close with them, you immediately see how his trick is done. It was just not even close to I mean, you just see how it's done. And I guess there's some complicity when you're on the stage. You don't
You have to
call
play
him out,
along.
but
Yeah.
and say, this is how he's doing it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, the whole cruise, they'd be saying, that man, that guy.
it's okay. I mean,
I was the magician when I was a kid.
he
I
was,
even
not,
had
he was not Penn and Teller quality.
Oh, yeah, I saw Penn and Teller in Vegas. God, man, like 15 years ago or so. It was $90 back then. But
Yeah.
they're really dirty live. Not really. They just had nudity and stuff and like raunchy jokes.
So Emily, I'm trying to explain what a cruise is like.
Oh, yeah. No,
If you're the kind of person who just likes to go off and do something on your own and explore,
cruise is not the game.
it's not going to be for you.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a couple like all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean
Oh,
area and like in Mexico and stuff. But that's like, but I feel like at least the ones we've been to were really pretty quiet and they were adults only. So there's no kids there at all. No. And like they would have like some pools that were more active where people would be doing like water aerobics or like playing volleyball in the pool or things like that. But then there would be other pools that were very quiet, very peaceful. You had your dinner reservations and things like that. But
You see, I've been to a couple resorts in Mexico, the Mexican Riviera section down near Acamal,
yeah.
and I really like those locations. It's all inclusive.
Hmm.
You can pay. You basically pay for alcohol up front.
Exactly.
and you don't have to worry about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to. You mean
It's just convenient.
it is. I tip the people who bring in a couple pesos or a couple.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to, but when you give the server or room cleaner $5,
Goes a long way.
that is like a
Mhm.
day's wage to them.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
and
and that's what like we always take American dollars, and
Yeah,
because
we
people
do.
have always said like they'll take dollars or pesos, it doesn't matter. So
they don't care. And the fact is, they may not come and say they appreciate it, but you're really helping them out.
Mhm.
So I don't mind. I'll never miss it. So there's fun. I mean, my suggestion is try it if you want to.
We've
just-
always heard that the Alaskan cruise is
Oh.
really, really great.
That's my favorite cruise I've ever taken.
See, like I feel like if I did a cruise, it would be one like that.
I would do a theme cruise, like a kiss cruise, or so I like Todd Rundgren. He does like cruises and like I'm in a General Hospital. I think they do a cruise. And
They have. I personally can't think of a themed cruise that I would enjoy. Maybe there is one.
I wonder. I feel like I might have to wait till my kids are older and do like a Disney cruise or something like that. More for them than for me. But
oh yeah, well that'd be fun too, just to watch them go all around the.
yeah.
Did they have all the wild slides on regular cruise?
They have it on. Hold on. They have them on some ships.
Do you go on those?
No.
No.
What
Oh,
happens-
come on, Greg.
What happens is the pool is open. It's on the top deck. It is super crowded
Ooh.
and just super loud.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had to walk through to get to other places. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this music is just too loud.
Rap music and just.
I don't know if it's rap music, but it's
I feel like I've seen videos online.
yeah.
So the hyper music.
See, my favorite was when I was on the Alaskan cruise, and this was a number of years ago. See, it's when you had only one dining room on a ship, and you had timed seatings. You got early dinner,
Mhm.
late dinner, and my wife and I always went to the early dinner. And you basically all finished dinner close to the same time, because they start, and then you walk out the exit, and you got down the exit, and at the bottom they had a string quartet playing.
Hmm.
And of course, it's a typical classical string quartet, playing all the old music that I really like. And I would just sit down there after dinner and just close my eyes and listen.
Relax. Beautiful.
I've never seen a string quartet on another ship.
Hmm.
They do have some music around ship you can go see too, but it's usually some sort of piano player, some sort of singer, and
Like a little piano lounge or something
Yeah.
like that.
that kind of deal. But my suggestion is, I mean, I'd try it.
Yeah, it'd be worth trying one for sure.
I mean,
to see if you like it.
If you're in Alabama, I don't know, Birmingham is close to Florida or Texas. There's lots of cruises that leave from Florida and Texas.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and some used to leave from Mobile.
Could be.
It may not. Some may not leave from Mobile anymore, but they used to. But some leave from New Orleans,
Yeah.
and Florida. So those are
My
easy to get to.
suggestion is, don't try a 14-day cruise as your first cruise.
Right. I think I'd get a little
5 night or 7 night.
claustrophobic.
So, if you don't like it, you say, okay, I didn't like it.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I would suggest don't be chintzy on the room.
Mhm.
Get a room with a balcony or a window.
Yeah, that would be my thing. I think I feel like I would get like a little claustrophobic in some of those where like you can't see out and.
Right. Well, they can be cheaper.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think it'd be a problem for you, but most cruises assume double occupancy,
Mhm.
where they're
Sure.
expecting 2 people to pay for the room. And if it's a one person traveling, you have to pay for the second person,
Yeah, it's just very expensive.
unless you're getting an inside room.
Oh.
I think they do that for single travelers. They let them get the inside rooms.
Interesting.
Oh, But okay, let's catch up. Some comments. Lee, Greg, if you want to read a real killer of a book, Nobody's Girl. I can only read a few pages at a time. I don't know Nobody's Girl. Does anyone?
No.
I feel like I've heard of it. Maybe. It sounds kind of familiar, but I don't
Maybe.
know it. Mm.
I've had my machine of books since the 80s, my vintage international editions, which they used to do great paperback books back in the 80s and 90s, and now they're no longer made, unfortunately. You need a lot of small books to do 40 by 40.
I mean, I have 5 years. I have 5 years. So I mean, yeah, small books for sure, but I don't know. I kind of might defeat the purpose a little bit.
David says, I hope your boat doesn't cross with any drones
No.
or any admirals on taking orders from Hegseth or something like that. Going like, that cruise ship has drug dealers on it.
I bet any cruise ship has drug dealers on it.
I don't know firsthand. I don't bother because I'm not. But I'm assuming that if you have a vice of preference, you can find that vice on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I pretty much, Garrett. I mean, it would have to be a very specialized vice, not that
Really? Huh. And I get an inside room too?
I don't know, Alan. I'm not gonna inquire. You know, it's all up to you.
I get to see Kiss.
You know, Alan, you just go on the cruise and pretend it's
Kiss
a cruise.
Yeah.
You never know.
We're getting in trouble.
Here's Chris. Are you guys going to rank all the books you read this year? That's what I've been spending all the day doing. Is this something easy and something very? I can't do it because I'm going to read close to 200 books this year.
Wow.
Well, remember, I'm retired. I listen to audiobooks. I read digital books. I read paper books.
It's still great.
And it's just a matter of just not stopping. You will get that amount.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't. It'd be too hard to rank them all.
Yeah, I don't really keep track. I'm not on Goodreads anymore, so I don't really keep track. Except for I have a playlist about reviews, but I haven't been doing every book that I read. I haven't been reviewing it officially, so I really don't even know how many I've read.
I might do like a top 5, but I can never do all of them.
Top 5.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how well you know me, Emily, but I keep every book that I read, every short story that I read, an essay in a database.
Okay.
Because I
since 90, what, 4?
December of 90.
That's great.
90. Uh-huh.
So
I won't tell you what year I was born, Greg, but
but the idea is I can
I've got tattoos older than that too.
I can do some rather impressive statistical analysis charts on my database and saying I've read these many digital books, these many audiobooks, these many.
Is it like an Excel database or just like in a notebook?
It's Microsoft Access.
Okay.
So it's actually a real database.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can do real queries and
that's cool.
You know, that's what I used to do. And I'm so glad I no longer have to program computers for a living.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I started keeping track of mine just like in a notebook. Probably the beginning of last year, I think. So, but a database could be really, really interesting.
It is. I mean, it started off with me just writing the books down on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that for like a year or two. And then I started getting into Microsoft Access. And I just transferred everything over. And honestly, I would almost completely get rid of my Windows-based laptop if I could get Microsoft Access on my MacBook.
Is there a Mac equivalent?
No.
Okay.
Theoretically, I mean, I've programmed in big SQL databases, but I don't want to invest that much time and energy in money. I've been thinking, can I just transfer this over to Excel? I've never really been an Excel person.
Yeah.
I'm the person, the Excel people go, can you get all this data into my
Mhm.
Excel? Sure, I can do that. And then let them worry about how they do it. But that was never what I did. But yeah, I mean, I will do something like that, Chris, but just not with all 200 books.
Hmm.
Hello, Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Yes. And you will be sick. Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, a cruise ship is a petri dish.
Ooh.
I just got my COVID and flu update vaccines on Friday.
Did you have an effect from it?
No, I felt just a little bit feverish on the
Yeah.
evening after I got both of them. And I did it in my left arm. And I kind of figure out that I sleep on my left arm on my side. And I really kind of felt it like because your muscles are so tense.
Mhm.
But now I don't feel anything at all.
Man, I got the 24-hour sickness when I got it. Got them both. I was like really like sweaty and all that and dizzy.
Yeah, just cruddy.
Yeah, only for like 12, 24 hours.
Well, I'm sure everyone remembers the first COVID vaccines. Now, I worked for a healthcare company at the time.
Mm.
We had lots of doctors, lots of nurses, and they were first in line to get the shots because they were exposed to it. And even though I was in IT, they opened it up to IT saying you can go get your COVID shots, earlier than most people in the country got them. So I did the first shot. Oh, no problem. And then we got scheduled. What was it, a month later or something like that? And we were still working from home, but we all went to the same central location to get our shots the same day. My boss was there, and colleagues were there. And then the next day, we were all just sick as dogs.
Mm.
I mean, we were feverish. I was like, we both all tried to work in the morning, and my boss was actually said, "I'm going home sick."
Wow.
And I said, "You know something? Me too."
Mhm.
And we all just sacked out.
Ugh,
But
that's tough.
the reaction has never been as bad since then.
That's good.
Yeah, I remember those days you had to carry a card around and have it like signed. And
I found my card the other day.
yeah,
I was going to take it to the clinic where they were doing the COVID shots, and they don't
To
care.
see if they still update it, kind of.
yeah, no, they don't.
You
I went to a concert in Seattle and we had to take our cards up there. Yeah.
So Lee says, Greg, Nobody's Girl is by Virginia Roberts.
That's
Gaffney.
it.
Okay, it's a memoir.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it's coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, Constance. Hello.
Hi.
Michelle says, Smartsheet is easier than Excel.
Oh, is that the Mac version of Excel?
Mac version is Numbers.
That's right. That's right. I have a Mac. I just don't use Excel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a big use for it now that I'm not professional anymore. I'm just
The only thing I use it for is to like calculate interest on child support judgments. And even that, there's a formula in there already that I don't have to create. So
helps with work.
people saying hi to each other. I'm just going to highlight quick. Yep, people just saying hi to each other.
Mm-hmm.
William's Library is here. Hello, William. I took I don't even know that one.
AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca. It was never a choice for me. I started off Moderna because that was the first one out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And again, working for healthcare.
Yeah, you took what was first.
We do, they just said, all their doctors and nurses, you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they said, you can go. And I went. So,
Yeah, I got mine ASAP too.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, them were the days. God, I flew back from Georgia to Portland, and everything was like they like scattered seating, nothing served on the plane, stuff, water, bottled water.
Well, what happened was my wife and I were actually at one of these resorts in Mexico when the COVID epidemic really broke out.
Wow.
And
Scary.
it was kind of hit or miss whether we'd be getting out of Mexico.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I thought they canceled a bunch of flights.
They did. But when we went to the Mexican, plane, they had some authority looking at your passport,
Mm-hmm.
ask you some health questions. Are you feeling healthy today? Have you had any problems in the past few days? And they put this smiley sticker on the passport.
Yeah.
We got through. We had to change planes, and I think it was Dallas Fort Worth. Were living in Seattle at the time,
Okay.
and the airport was just empty. It was
Very eerie.
spooky empty.
Yeah.
And it was just wow. So if it had been a day or two few later,
Mhm.
my wife said we might have had to stay in Mexico
Yeah.
or find
We-
alternative ways to get out.
We actually bought our house and moved in literally the weekend before everyone on Monday was like, everybody work from home. We're not coming. So I was like, well, I guess I get to unpack all these boxes now. And this paint color that I thought was okay on the walls, now that I'm staring at it all day long, I don't think I care for it anymore.
Ah,
That's what happened to me. And I was in Dallas Fort Worth. My boss called me and he said, "Don't come to the office.
Hmm.
Work from home for 2 weeks."
Yeah.
And it
And
just
it
turned into a permanent
extends
gig.
and extends.
I was living in Moultrie, Georgia, 20 miles north of Tallahassee, and they had a curfew, like a 8:30 curfew, and nobody knew what was going on. And I had to go
Yeah.
into these groups of people and wear a mask, don't wear a mask, 6 feet. I said, hey, I'm going home. Get
Mhm.
me out. Talk about a petri dish. I didn't kind of like the way they were running things, and
Yeah.
I was scared. And I gave my father my passwords, and then,
William,
I
I'll
don't
tell you, it did a number on the court system for a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time. Created a huge backlog of
ooh,
things.
I bet.
I can
That
imagine.
was awful to deal with.
But
I
I
know.
never got COVID. I never got COVID.
You're lucky.
Did
That's
you
awesome.
get it, Emily?
I got it.
I think I tested positive one time, but I didn't feel
Oh, good.
bad. So I
If
don't
I
know.
got
so
it, I just
technically I
covered.
had it, but I never really felt like I had COVID ever. My
Yeah,
husband
if
did
I
once,
did
but
get it, I powered through and didn't know it. But
yeah.
like my 83-year-old father had it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's had it.
Yeah.
My wife caught it on a cruise. We were going up to New England and Canada,
Oh.
and she caught it on the second to the last day of our cruise.
Uh,
And I got home, and
That
then
stinks.
then the day after we got home, I got it. Now she
Yeah.
took the COVID test and she tested positive.
Mm-hmm.
I got the same symptoms, and I looked at the test to go, I don't need to test myself.
Yeah.
It's COVID.
yeah. I mean, well,
But here's what William was saying. I don't like the idea of getting a needle every 6 months for the rest. William, if you've had COVID, we don't have to do it every 6 months, but the needle is worth it not to get it.
I don't like going to the doctor at all anyway. So,
I don't
so
either,
I feel
but-
you, William.
You know, it's not even go to the doctor. I went to the giant superstore pharmacy,
That's true. That's
and
true.
you come in, and you don't even pay for these vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I presume because I have health care. I don't. I mean, if you didn't have health care in the United States, you may have to pay for it. But I didn't pay a penny.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at the end of the comment. So Emily, one of the only things we try to do on our show is ask people what they've been currently reading or currently read, and to
Mhm.
discuss a book that you just want to let the other people know about. As a guest, you get to go first.
Okay. Well, honestly, I'll admit I talked about this kind of in my most recent video that I'd had kind of a break kind of from posting videos because um I guess I think both of y'all saw the video maybe, but
Yeah, you're not going to break any news. I know what the
okay,
news is.
yeah. But I'm pregnant, and so the first trimester just kind of did a number on me in terms of fatigue and exhaustion. So, um, I work and I have a toddler, so I wasn't exactly taking naps in the middle of the day like I was first go around. So I just ended up crashing really early in the evenings a lot.
Mhm.
But so
Mhm.
I didn't necessarily get tons of reading done for a while, but I did finally get I did just go to the library this past weekend to kind of catch up on some stuff that I was really excited about. And I did Pat might appreciate this in the comments, but I picked up a new well, it's not new, but new to me, short story collection from Wendell Berry, whom I adore. Anybody who watches my channel knows I
Isn't
love.
Wendell Berry a poet?
He is. He is a poet. He writes fiction, essays, incredibly prolific. Um, but I hope to next year read some more of his poetry collections. I've read a smattering here and there, but I've never read a full collection of his. But I've mainly read his fiction and his essays. But so I found a new short story collection of his that I'm excited to get into. And my mom and some of my sisters and my aunts have kind of started a little thing where at Thanksgiving we like to kind of talk about some books that we've read and we like to try to read some of the same things. So just recently at Thanksgiving we kind of picked 4 or 5 books for the next year that we all want to read and talk about next year at Thanksgiving. And one of those is Endless Night by Agatha Christie, which I've never read. But I found that at the library too and picked that up
Cool.
to
I'd
read.
like to read more of her. That's a gap I have in my reading. Agatha. And they're doing it's like a Edgar Christie's Missing. My friend Raz mentioned it. I don't know the dates, but it's like 11 days where she went missing.
That's
Oh,
And
right.
then she had amnesia or something. So they're doing 11 days in December, I believe.
well, that's cool. See, I think the Endless Night, it's not a Hercule Poirot or a Miss Marple, which is why we picked it. Just to see how different it is, because I've read some of the Hercule Poirot ones, many years ago, but I've never actually read any Miss Marple either. But I'm planning on reading some of those next year to read through that series.
Cool.
So that's kind of what I have on tap a
Okay.
little bit. I've been reading like a Christmas collection by G.K. Chesterton called
Okay.
Winter Fire a little bit. Just kind of he has some essays, some poems, some things like this. I've been in the morning when I have my coffee. I've been reading a little bit of that. But
I read one G.K. Chesterton book this year called The Man Who Was Thursday. That was just a wild book.
It is. Yeah. I feel like people either love it or hate it. And most find it very strange.
But it was supposed to be strange. And it's just
Yes. Yeah.
and for Dr. November, I read a book on Who's the American Spy. I read it with Michelle. Michelle's in the chat room. It was American Spy. What? Oh God, famous American Spy in the 80s. Anyway, Man Who Was Thursday was his favorite book.
Oh.
Because it says it teaches you there's nothing real in reality. And that's just sort of the way you feel reading that book. Like, oh.
It is very much. Yeah, Chesterton's an interesting
Now that's
writer.
not his most. There's a very popular series that he wrote.
The Father Brown Mysteries.
Father Brown, that's the one. I got to pick up a Father Brown. It's in public domain.
Yeah.
And I have Father Brown on my Kindle, so I really need to pick that up.
I have a tiny little book of those. It's like the Dover Thrift Classics or something like that. But I need to read those too.
A lot of fun. What about you, Alan? What have you been reading?
Well, I finished. You'll be glad to know Queen Esther today. So I'm going to go back and listen to it again on Audible and try to make some comments in the group.
You're much more dedicated than I am. I just read the
Yeah.
book and said, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I like John Irving a lot, and there's similarities to all stuff, as you know, and want to comment on that, but we can't be leaving spoilers.
No,
And
you can't be spoiled, but you can give general. Like my comment when Queen Esther was, John Irving is a professional novelist, and he finishes other novel. He said, "Well, I got to write a novel."
Hmm.
He wrote a novel, and that's Queen Esther. It's not bad. It's just when you've read A Prayer for Owen Meany or The
Mhm.
World According to Garp, which are two top-notch novels in my opinion. Queen Esther just said he's just writing
Yeah,
a book
I agree.
because he's a writer,
Hmm.
and I'll leave it at there. I mean, if you want to read it, I mean, you'll probably enjoy it, but it's just never going to be a favorite book, in my
Yeah.
humble opinion.
There's worse ones of John Irving in my,
Okay.
but yeah, better ones are true. I like his style. I turned that character into a almost himself. He mentions.
Yes, I totally got the main character was a fill-in for John Irving.
Yeah, I mean, so the titles were
Well, the character's name
really
is Winslow,
different, but
right?
yeah,
What's
they're
the first name? I forgot his first name. What was his first name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy Winslow.
Yeah,
And John Irving's middle name is Winslow.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's really kind of clear.
yes.
It's me. All right.
Then he got political at the end too.
I don't. The thing is, I don't mind when authors get political
Yeah, me neither.
because if the author has a political bent, it almost is disingenuous to hide it and say, "I don't want to offend someone." Now, the thing is, usually, this is a big confession, is I'm sort of left of center. So I don't mind when authors get left of center. I sort of feel it when authors get very conservative,
Hmm.
but here's the thing: there's not really a whole lot of conservative fiction writers.
Mhm.
There's some out there.
Sure.
Who did a really good job? Christopher Buckley. He's sort of he's absolutely hilarious, and I don't mind. So
I feel like I don't like when people insert it just for the sake of inserting it. If it's something that fits along with the story, then fine, put it
Yeah,
in there. But if it's
Cover
just clearly for the sake of messaging something, then that bothers me.
I think he did it well. I mean, the main character is kind of know where it's headed at the beginning, but she got really radicalized. Anyway, I won't spoil that. I've really been into this book, Clarice Lispector, The Besieged City. I'm kind of known for annotating books. I haven't been annotating this one. I've been using Post-its. I've read quite a few Lispector books. Buddy read with Roz at Scatolodanian about the books. We're reading this really close together, chapter by chapter. It's only like 200 pages, but really dense, kind of awkward. The syntax is really wild. Her sentences are wild. It's magical realism. Now, Greg's read some Lispector, like
I've read a couple. I really like the Spectre.
Mhm.
Some of her novels more than others.
Yeah, this is a little different one.
I've heard
But-
so much about her over the past year or two, but I've never read anything by her. But before a couple years ago, I'd never heard of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither till book 2, but I do like reading translated works, and a lot of classics are translated.
Hmm.
And then finished up the Castaneda with Elaine. Guess we're gonna go live with that next month. And then finally, I'm gonna start Salman Rushdie's new short stories, The 11th Hour with MJ.
Mm.
Yeah, I like him. I've read Satanic Verses at least once, and got his other one about the garden. What is it? Oh, I forget his other one. Magical Midnight Garden.
Midnight's Children is his
Children.
most famous novel. Or
Yeah, that
definitely-
one
Yeah.
that was Scott Bryan. Like that. So I like him. He's humorous.
Have you read his memoir, Knife?
No, I have it on my Kindle.
Okay, I haven't read it either, but I'm very curious to know how it is though, because I'm interested in reading it, but
I like to read it.
I haven't heard anybody really talk about it though.
I've seen a few of his interviews about it. They say if the guy knew what he was doing, Rushdie would have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just went like, oh,
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It is. Now I did read his memoir, Anton something, when he was actually being protected by the British.
Oh, okay.
When he was actually in hiding and
Mhm.
couldn't come out, and interesting memoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm tempted to start Heinlein's The Puppet Masters, but I'm also tempted to start this Irish nonfiction. What's it called? Oh, I forget. But I don't know. I am kind of a mood reader, so I have a little wiggle room coming up. Maybe I shouldn't start anything new. Maybe I should start preparing for Gravity's Rainbow, perhaps. But I'm good. I'm really into the Spectre. About halfway through.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
So I again finished Queen Esther a couple days ago. I think we discussed enough about that. I'm now reading a book called Love in the Ruins by Walker Percy.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I haven't.
I read it in the 80s, and I was too young
Oh,
to understand. I mean, it's called A Bad Catholic at the end, near the end of the times.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally published in 1971. It's set in the future, and I did some math because somewhere in there it says Perry Como is doing a Christmas special. He's 70 years old, and I said, "Well, wait a second." I just looked up Perry Como. He's born in 1912, so he would be 70 in 81 or 82.
So that was not very far in the future.
Not very far in the future, but this is a future where America has sort of collapsed, but not completely collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of political factions and infighting. Religions have splintered into sort of like commercial places where, and the thing is, it really has this feel of what our society is like right now.
It sounds familiar.
It does. And now Michelle was in the comments, and I'm reading it with her. She is a converted Catholic, like Walker Percy was a converted Catholic. I'm basically an atheist, though. But I'm finding it very interesting because in this story, there's a character named Tom Moore, spelled with one O instead of two. I mean, the Thomas More, very famous in England. So you kind of have to
The
draw.
patron saint of lawyers.
Well, in this book, he's a doctor or a psychologist, and he's invented this ontological lipsometer, where he can probe your soul and say,
Hmm.
what is wrong with your soul spiritually?
Oh, wow.
I could use that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it starts off where he's waiting for the end of the world. There's going to be this catastrophic. He's sitting out there with his rifle. There's an abandoned motel where he has his 3 girlfriends waiting for him. He's talking about the end of the world. It's July
Might as well have
4th.
3.
Yeah, I just go with it, you know. And apparently all 3 are okay with it, I guess. He hasn't gone that far.
The end of the world for them too.
Yeah, but it's a band, but I get this spiritual malaise
Mm-hmm.
that this is going to be Walker Percy's theme in this book, is that America just is degenerating spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're not able to get along with each other anymore. And I'm going like, wow, that just really kind of feels
Mhm.
where we're headed.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
you might have pushed that to the top of my TBR with that.
I really enjoyed the first chapter with him sitting on this hill with his sort of reminiscing, and now it's gone back to July 1st and how he got to this motel room, and
Okay.
yeah, he's slowing down and he's a little more novelistic and a little less in depth. Now, Walker Percy has been called a Catholic existentialist,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is just these 2 terms that you say. Catholic existentialist, you know, square peg, round hole, they don't go together very well.
Oxymoron.
But it does sort of fit with Walker Percy, which is what I'm liking about this.
Jumbo shrimp.
And then I'm listening to an audiobook called The Silver Pigs by Lindsay Davis. It is an historical murder mystery set in ancient Rome,
Oh,
where you have a detective called Didius Falco. And he's not called a detective, he's called a private informer.
Mm.
And he goes out, and there's a woman who immediately, a 16-year-old girl, I'll tell you, 16-year-old girl, who says she needs immediate protection. And he takes her in, you know, this is a client. She's obviously a woman from a wealthy family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she'll be able to pay me. And things happen, and I won't get too much into it, but someone's going to get murdered. He's going to find out there is a crime, possibly to overthrow the current Emperor Vespasian, involving silver mines in Britain.
Huh.
I mean, it reads like a detective novel,
Yeah.
but it's ancient Rome.
I love it.
It's fun. I mean, I don't think she's really historically accurate. I've read some.
Does that kind of grate on you?
What?
Does
No.
that grate on? Okay.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, in some novels it would. Now, like Colleen McCullough wrote a massive amount of books, like 7 or 8 books in her Masters of Rome series about the fall of Rome into an emperorship. And she did a huge amount of research for that.
Yeah. I read The Thornbirds by her earlier this year,
book. Okay.
but I haven't read anything else.
But no, you could just tell reading that book that she did her Latin studies.
Mm-hmm.
She did her history studies. Because it filled with historical characters, and she had drawings of all what the historical characters potentially could have looked like. And you just got the impression that she knew her ancient Rome.
Yeah.
And this one with Lindsay Davis, she just set it in ancient Rome. She threw some basic ideas. There's a senate, there's emperors. Let's create a murder mystery.
It's a very loose backdrop as opposed
It is,
to.
but it's different. And the main character is, of course, narrated by Didius Falco, and he has this snarky sort of tough guy that it's so common in hard-boiled detective novels.
Mhm.
I've really been having fun with it.
Yeah. I like the idea of historical mysteries. I haven't really read many, but I have The Daughter of Time that's just like sitting
read
there on
that
my
this year.
Kindle that I really need to read. And then I've got I keep looking for them when I go to my used bookstore. The Matthew Shardlake books by C.J. Sansom, I think.
I have one on my Kindle.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard great things about them. But I just have to find them. So
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It takes you back to a time, and if Lindsay Davis was a little more serious, I think it would bring down the storytelling. Because
okay.
now I am listening to this as an audiobook, and it's just like 5 minutes, chapter 1, 5
Yeah.
minutes, chapter 2.
You don't have to put a lot of thought into it.
No, it's just like, just enjoy yourself and let your brain have fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's catch up with some comments. Constance, my 92-year-old dad, got it in 2022 in the summer, didn't make it, but he did get to come home. I'm sorry, Constance.
So sorry.
Yeah, it's both constant.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Pat approves of Wendell
Oh yes, she loves Wendell-Berry.
I'm not surprised. I bet she does more of his poetry than his other stuff.
Yes.
Yes,
yes. I feel like she and I need to swap. I need to read more of his poetry, and I think she's starting to explore some of his fiction.
Do I have any Wendell-Berry? I don't think I have any Wendell-Berry. I do not have Wendell-Berry on my poetry shelf.
Yeah, I put some of his poetry collections on my Christmas list, so we'll see what comes of that.
So Irving Books is kind of meta. Definitely Jimmy Winslow is John Irving. Robert Hansen. That's what we're talking, The Bureau and the Mole.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that liked the Man Who Was Thursday. Yes, John's was Winslow. Good man. I've only read A Prayer for Owen Meany. It was good, but that was enough for me. On to other authors, too many to try. Okay. I really loved A Prayer for Owen Meany. I read it when it first came out, and it blew me away.
He's funny. The way he talks.
William says there's a difference between having a political bent and having an agenda and making an unrealistic story to fit that agenda. Excuse me. Yes, I can say that's absolutely true. Stephen King wrote a book a few years ago called Holly, which she's sort of an autistic character, and she's really hyper vigilant about some things. In this book, she was really concerned about getting COVID vaccines and keeping distance.
Oh.
And a lot of people of a more conservative bent really took Stephen King to task about saying you're putting your politics into your novel. And well, Stephen King is left of center, and he was, but the character of Holly would have absolutely done what she did because that was who she was. So yeah, I think this is the case where he was politicizing, but it was absolutely fitting in the story and not just, like you say, making it part of the agenda. So A Prayer for Owen Meany is a great novel. I think it's one of his best. And I'll just drop down here. Queen Esther, not so much. I think, Pat, we're pretty much in agreement on Queen Esther.
Man, I think I must like it the best out of us three. I'm going to have to make some more comments in the group. But
I don't know.
I liked it.
I mean, I didn't dislike it. It's just he's done so much better.
Overbearing mother like Garp and all that, Jimmy. Well, I won't get into it all. It's kind of embarrassing, but
yeah.
The thing is, like, I can remember Jenny, the mother, in World According to Garp. the
Mhm.
nurse's outfit and her
Yep.
controlling it. And the mother in Queen Esther, she's already faded from my brain.
Hmm.
Well, the thing is, well, I don't want to get too many spoilers, but the character sort of has two mothers,
Mm.
and even the main character of Queen Esther, she's sliding from my head.
Hmm.
Where
Not a
Jenny
good
and
sign.
Garp, where Jenny and Garp is there. She's gonna live. Jenny will live for a long time in my head. Queen Esther, not so much. The other mother in Queen Esther, she's gone. She walked in, she showed herself, and then let herself out
Even
the
with a
door.
name like Honor.
She
All right.
Alan, she's gone. She came in, she showed
No more.
herself, she said hello, and now she's gone.
Yeah, here.
Content. I read a very early review of Queen Esther months ago. It agreed with you guys. Okay.
Hmm.
Now the problem is, John Irving is in his late 70s or early 80s, somewhere in that range. And the fact that he's that old and can still write a fairly decent, intellectual, good novel at that age is still impressive.
Hmm.
So kudos for John Irving. But I think his days of great novels are probably over.
Yeah. Which is sad.
It's sad, but most authors have an arc.
Hmm.
And some authors peak at their first novel. And then they never able to catch up with it again.
Yeah. It's almost like they have the most time to polish that first one up. And then after that first one, they're stuck in contracts
Yeah.
for the others.
And then some really do. Now, I think I have not read John Irving's early novels, but I think John Irving was a type that his early novels were practice.
Hmm.
And he built up until he wrote A World According to Garp. And then he wrote like The Hotel New Hampshire, Cider House Rules. Then he
Yeah.
wrote Prayer for Owen Meany. I have not read a lot of his other later novels. And I know you like A Widow for 1 Year.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And I like Till I Find You. I like The Water Method Man.
That was his first book, or was his second book?
One of the two. It's kind of a funny one. That's one you'll never forget once you read it. Because
Okay.
it's a kind of fun on the title.
All right. Well, he's one of the ones I think has an arc.
Yeah.
Started low, got high, and
Yeah.
now he's going back down again. That's okay.
Yeah, there's a few novels of his I don't even like. Then there's others I'd like to give another chance, like The Avenue of Mysteries might have been a situation where I was having life things and, or didn't
Yeah.
like it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, he's written a lot. It's like Michael Chabran is a novelist we've read.
He has not published a book in a number of years.
No. He's really good. I forgot I wish I would have put the what's it, Clevar?
Adventures of Cavalier and Clay.
Yeah, that's my favorite 10 covers. That's a really cool cover.
It is a cool cover.
Yeah, with as Captain Marvel hitting Hitler, and I guess
That's a book that if it didn't have a cool cover would be a great travesty.
Yeah.
Have you read Adventures of Cavalier and Clay?
I've not read it, but I mean I know the general premise, but I've not read it.
I also really liked his Yiddish Policeman's Ball.
Yeah, that was good.
That was just
good throughout.
Yeah, the premise is it's sort of speculative fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of says, what if in World War II, the United States government opened Alaska to all the Jewish immigrants that were being killed in Germany.
Huh.
And they all migrated over to Alaska.
Wow.
And formed a Jewish community in Alaska. But they had basically a lease saying you can live here for X number of years.
Huh.
And the story that lease is running out.
Okay.
And then there's a murder that has to be solved. But it was a good one.
Okay.
And the best thing is I read that Michael Chabon thought about this is because he himself is Jewish and he got
Hmm.
a Yiddish English book. You know, how do you speak? And he's going like, no one speaks Yiddish anymore.
Mhm.
Well, what if there was a place in the United States where people were still speaking Yiddish?
That would be interesting.
And that's how he came up with the idea. It's like, what it would have taken to get Yiddish to survive?
Mm. Something very concentrated like that, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I hope he does publish another. No, we read another one.
Wonder Boys. And
No, we never read Wonder Boy. We were going to read Wonder Boys with
I
Marcus.
read the Penguin one or
We read one with a parrot on the cover,
Garrett. Yeah, shoot. I'm trying to find my.
and the parrot
I have the Wonder Boys.
is also interesting. It says, you know, the character of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Everyone does, and it says, you know, what if Sherlock Holmes retired as a detective and was living in England in his early 90s? He'd be right around World War II.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And what if someone came to him say, you need to solve this mystery?
Okay.
It was
like
good. I liked it. No, it was like a novella. It was like
Yeah.
150 pages, something like that.
But something just like really fun.
It was. So I hope Michael Chabon publishes another book.
We never read that, huh?
Never read it.
Oh, damn. I've got a copy, and I like the font and everything too. So before I forget, Emily, like, do you have like one particular Southern writer you like? Do you like Faulkner at all? You like Faulkner?
I honestly have not read Faulkner since like maybe early college. So I would like to read more Faulkner than I
I
have.
would like to invite you to participate in our hashtag Faulkner in August. Like this year, reading a novel I've not read, Intruders in the Dust. Which
I've not read that one.
Features Gavin Stevens, who happens to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Lawyer.
I mean,
Yeah.
I read my first introduction to Faulkner was A Rose for Emily that we read in school
yeah.
in high school. And then we also read As I Lay Dying. I think when I was a senior, maybe. So I'd like to read more Faulkner to kind of really kind of flesh out my thoughts and feelings about him. But I am a great lover of To Kill a Mockingbird. Of course, obviously where I live, Harper Lee is pretty pervasive. Pervasive here. So I love her. I enjoy Wendell Berry a whole lot. I really like he was a writer for several publications, I guess, but the journalist Rick Bragg, he might have won the Pulitzer at some point for some of his journalism, but he has a memoir called All Over But the Shoutin', and he has a couple other memoirs and things that he's written, and his character descriptions and his descriptions of place just feel like home to me. It is just very, very Alabama. It feels like I know those people. And he grew up in a much more rural setting than I did, but even so, it's very, I don't know, it just really kind of hits home for me personally. But yeah, no, I'm always trying to read some more Southern literature. And of course, like people like Flannery O'Connor, and Eudora Welty. Earlier this year, I finally got to read All the King's Men by Robert Penn Warren.
On my list.
Read that.
Oh, it was great, but awful and just dark. You know, I was actually doing some thinking about it just this past weekend, really, because I've always kind of struggled a little bit with that classic O'Connor quote about the Christ haunted South, and how much I believe that or don't believe it. And I think the older I've gotten, the more that rings true for me. kind of, but to me, All the King's Men felt like a perfect example of that, because Robert Penn Warren's prose is just full of biblical and religious language and bits and pieces, but the absence of any God at all is so palpable in that novel.
Interesting.
It like
Isn't it
It's
about Huey
fascinating.
Long in New Orleans?
is what New Orleans?
Huey
Long.
Long?
Yeah, he was Louisiana. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about New
New
Orleans,
Orleans.
but Huey Long was the Louisiana governor that it's kind of based off.
Well, that's what I saw. I kind of thought that All the King's Men was loosely based off Huey Long.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll have to read it, definitely. I've heard great things about it.
You see, I already did my reading list for the year.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No
it
room
was-
for Greg. Yeah.
it was a great read. It went much more quickly than I thought it would. But yeah, it was just the difference between the language that Penn Warren used that evoked a
Mm-hmm.
religious feel, just because that language is so common here. Yeah, that's
I
that's
got
a
it,
great
yeah.
copy.
I got it.
But then
Faulkner's like that, sometimes. For me, I love Southern writers. I was born in Toledo, Ohio, but I had relatives in Daytona Beach. I don't know. I almost went to school in Gainesville.
Mhm.
So I like Harry Crews, and I like for like crime fiction, James Lee Burke a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I even met him one time, got my picture taken with him, and just at a book signing, But then Faulkner, I've read him a lot.
Yeah,
But-
I would like to read more Faulkner to kind of flesh out my my reading of him.
Well, Intruders in the Dust is not top-notch Faulkner,
Mhm.
No.
as far as I understand. It's sort of his idea of trying to do a mystery novel.
Okay.
Because there was one year where Faulkner won a mystery award, and some actual mystery authors were really incensed.
Mhm.
This upstart literary guy came in,
Yeah.
and,
Like,
and
this is not your area.
Yeah.
But no, he has done some. He has a book called Knight's Gambit, which is short stories about Gavin Stevens.
Okay.
He does?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
you don't know that?
Man, this is kind of scary. This is what they talk about on the internet about alternative realities when you start seeing.
Okay.
6 mystery stories. William
I've
Faulkner.
never heard of that.
Gavin
WTF.
Stevens, the wise and forbearing student of crime.
Hold that up again, please. Nights. Oh, okay. I think I have heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to get that. I didn't know it was about old Gavin.
Yeah,
He's in Sanctuary and
I think Sanctuary was his first appearance.
Appearance.
So yeah. I mean, it's if you want to get into Faulkner light,
Mm-hmm.
Intruder in the Dust.
Yeah. Okay. I have a collection of some of his short stories that I might be able to read kind of piece by piece. But
Yeah, I mean,
I have the complete selection of short stories that given to me by my friend Greg.
aw.
Yeah, he sends me a lot of books.
yeah.
Yeah, brand new. That's good. Now all I got to do is read them.
So Elaine showed up. Hello, LOL. My ears are
Elaine.
ringing.
Hello, Elaine.
I think she showed up quite some time ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing her a while ago. It's going fast.
That's one of the things on these shows is you kind of get behind on
It's hard.
comments.
Mm,
Rochelle says Chesterton is great. I love the Inspector Morse series.
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, Wayne and I, buddy, read Carlos Castaneda's third book, A Separate Reality. I won't get into it here too much, but a lot of eating mescaline this time. Not so much reality, but same results.
Oh,
I-
Michelle says the Inspector Morse books have a character named Fred Thursday, who is named for the man who was Thursday in Chesterton's book. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Wasn't Garp also kind of an Irving's fictional self? Irving even inserted a couple of his own stories into the novel as Garp stories.
He always does that, like with wrestling
Mhm.
and that. But he even taught. I think he's a magician with language, and how he takes Esther again, like at the end, and we know that we've all read books about writers wanting to be writers or writing, but he does something different. How he makes it more real and then twists it. So yeah, hard for me to explain. Stephen King did it in like the 8th book of The Tower, inserted in, but he did it like his real name and everything.
Mhm.
That's
Oh wow.
another thread.
I read the Dark. I read the Dark Tower series. I'm really not a fan of those books.
No,
Really?
man, you would have liked the edition I had back when it came out. It was the one with all the illustrations on it.
I used to have some of those, but I got rid of them.
Yeah, I did
So here's
too.
some comments from Nightshade Holloway. The last Irving book I read was The Fourth Hand.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I enjoyed it, but distinctly remember the novel's pace came to abrupt crawl at the last 100 pages.
Yeah,
Almost like Irving didn't know how to end it, put it aside for months, and came back to finish it.
Hmm.
Well, there's this thing John Irving does, is that whenever he writes a book, he writes the last sentence first.
Hmm.
Because he says that tells me how to end the book. It's my I guess sort of like the beacon.
Okay. He knows what he's working towards the whole
He
time.
knows what he's working towards. So he probably did know how he was going to finish it, but you could be right that he could have just extended that end too long.
Yeah.
All right. Nightshade. Yes, lots of Irving's life is in all of his fiction. It's noticeable. Absolutely.
Was that about Walker Percy, maybe?
He's kind of a lapsed Catholic. Jubal Harshaw. That's Stranger in a Strange Land, if I'm not mistaken, by Robert Heinlein. Also with Walker Percy, I noticed similarity with John Irving, that he has so much real life experience in his writing of his book. So far, that's all that I read. Yeah, some authors just put their lives in their books.
Mm-hmm.
Goodman, back off to work. Keep having fun, kids. Yeah, he's in Australia, so his work day has just started.
Yeah.
See you go, man.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Michelle, I love the Thornbirds. My girlfriends and I were obsessed with the Thornbirds in high school way back.
I loved it.
Okay, I have it on my Kindle for someday.
It was. I was like, why aren't people talking about this? Like, we need to bring it back. It was
Was it 70s or 80s?
70s.
70s. Okay. Well, I've noticed, at least on YouTube and BookTube, is that the older books don't get as much attention
Yeah.
as the newer books.
Well, and I'm not a big new release reader, but I feel like I had such a gap of time in my reading, kind of from late college through law school and early career, where I felt like I didn't have time or I didn't prioritize it, and then I kind of came back to it, that I feel like I'm trying to make up for all these little lost years that I had, and trying to go back and read things that maybe my mom or grandmother loved, that people just don't talk about anymore, but were great books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have an idea for a video that I'm going to do someday, and I want to do it. Have to do it delicately. Is that I don't think contemporary books are as good as the books in the past.
They're not the same.
Now
I
I
mean-
did an experiment this year where Buddy read a new release, meaning within 5 years of, and it was successful. I mean, I completed it, and with
They're just different. The whole idea of storytelling is different. And I've come up with a few ideas that I'm playing around. One is that the authors who are younger grew up with media in the home. They had HBO, they had VHSs or
Okay.
DVDs. They could watch any movie at home they want to. When I was a kid, you want to see a movie, you had to go out to the movie theater.
good
Or
point.
watch the edited version, the edited for television version, which means they just took out the good parts.
One thing of Beauty Land
And-
that would drive with that.
And too many authors right now are getting MFAs to teach them how to write. And they come
I have
across
one.
as factory authors. They're factory formed. Where you take Faulkner, no one sent him to a writing class. Because any writing professor would have said, "Get the hell out of here, Bill."
Yeah.
And maybe you could have formed him into a bestseller of the age, and he would have been totally boring.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's my
those are the two things that I think are important. Another important thing is too many authors nowadays are writing their books with Hollywood in mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, can this be an adaptation? Yeah.
Yeah, can this be adapted to a film and make me lots of money? Again, Faulkner didn't write that.
Wasn't even a thought.
No, he's too early, and I think that was where the real genius of writing came, is in those early days of the 20th century, where you're breaking through, you were discovering modernism, you had Joyce, you had Faulkner, and
Yeah.
he wasn't the same as Joyce or Faulkner, he was in a different direction, but he had his own style. Going for, and it is valid on its own. And now everyone's just boring.
I would totally agree with that. Well, and I feel like even it's like my generation coming up reading. I mean, I'm wondering what in the world my generation of writers is going to produce, because we came of age in a time where the biggest things were Harry Potter, Hunger Games, Twilight. Like, those were the books that were ubiquitous when I was in middle school and high school. And if writers are learning, like, this is what I love, and then they're trying to become writers and model themselves off of these kind of things, like, what are we going to end up with?
Well, I kind of, I hate to say it, I think the age of literature and now is sort of on the wane. Now, I compare this to poetry. Poetry back in the 19th century was huge. Everyone could quote their favorite poems, their favorite poets. And nowadays, Pat, with the exception of Pat and a few other people, no one reads poetry anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost completely dead.
The art of writing isn't hard to master. Write it like disaster. You have a good point, Greg.
And so that's I want to make a video about that someday, but
That'd be a really good one.
I also know that a lot of the younger viewers are just going like, no, this is a great way to write a novel. And now I mentioned, like, I reread the year Stephen King's Salem's Lot. I'm not saying it's a great novel, but he took his time with each and every character, and he built them up. You introduce a character, you introduce them all. Next chapter, you introduce some problems, and you build up all these issues with all these characters. And nowadays, it seems to me that you introduce a character and plop, that character is in trouble. And then in trouble for the rest of the book.
And you don't even have time to care about them first.
No, you don't. And
people are so impatient. They want everything to be a page turner. They're not willing to sit quietly with something for a while and let it develop into a good story.
And I like that slow burn
Mhm.
developing.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is, okay, I'm 61 years old. I grew up with this stuff. So that's just part of me. And
I can't remember, Greg. Did you read Leonard and Hungry Paul?
no, I didn't.
You might like that. That has a real slow pace and
I've heard
I know
people say
Pat
great things
Sarah
about
Pat
it.
loves that book.
yeah, I think Buddy read it with her.
And I'm visiting Ireland later this year, or not this year, next year.
Yeah, I read like 3 or 4 new Irish novels this year.
So maybe I need to pick up Leonard and Hungry Paul in my massive planning for 2026. And it's not a long book. It's like, what, 300 pages, 400 pages?
That's not long at all.
Okay.
Easy read. Fast.
I might squeeze it in. I know I'm doing Trinity by Leon Uris.
Ooh, that'll be real
Oh,
good.
I have that
Good
on my
history.
shelf. I've wanted to read that.
Oh,
Well, I'm
That's-
doing it for March of the Mammoth. Do you know March of the Mammoths, Em?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm doing that for March of the Mammoths.
Okay.
yes, Buddy read.
We should do a big buddy read at that one.
Yeah, I could do that.
There's a great romance in there. You'll love it. It's a good book.
Okay.
Great.
It was one that I
Irish
kind of
history.
picked up around the same time as the Thornbirds. I was looking for like these like older saga, just kind of longer epic kind of stories that I feel like they don't publish anymore. And like that's what I was kind of looking for. So I found the Thornbirds and I found Trinity, and I haven't read Trinity yet.
Yeah,
So
I highly recommend it.
Okay. Well, there
It
we
is-
go.
hey,
Yeah.
I love it.
My announcement video just mentions me reading it, but that's okay. I can't go back
I
and
love it.
fix it. It'll be a big buddy read for March.
I love it.
So, Pat, Greg, you may have Windleberry in your Library of America series. I don't think I do.
Hmm.
I'll have to watch for Windleberry when I get off my Read What You Own challenge. I read The Third Born this summer when I was 19. I
Mhm.
remember being immersed and waiting to drag out the reading experience.
Oh, I like that.
Good night, guy. Oh, David's got to walk his dog. I've had a dog before. I know what it's like. They come in and look at you going, hey,
Hello.
hey,
Yeah.
I got to pee. Got to pee. To his fiction is in the LOA series.
Mhm.
Well, you know something, Pat? If that may be one of the ones that I go for. Michelle, Daughter of Time. There are other novels with the same detective, and the Daughter of Time is supposed to have started for the hunt for Richard III's body.
Mhm.
Well, not exactly. I mean, I'll give you the basic premise. You have a detective. He is in the hospital with an injury, and this is the 40s, 50s. You stay in the hospital for weeks when you're injured. You know,
I couldn't do it.
nowadays, you got a shattered kneecap or surgery in the afternoon. You're out this evening.
Mhm.
Here, he's staying in the hospital. He's bored. So one of his assistants or friends brings him some pictures to look at. He likes looking at faces and say what this face could have done. And one of the faces she shows him is the portrait of Richard III. And he says, that's an interesting face. And then she says, oh, that's Richard III. I goes, oh, the guy who killed those 2 boys. And he
Mm.
starts thinking that his face does not match the crime.
Mm.
And then he starts doing historical research. But he has to send out other people to do the research because he's stuck in bed.
Because he's stuck in the hospital.
So it's all in his head to reconstruct what Richard III did to the 2 boys in the tower.
Huh. Okay.
And I think Steve Donahue says it really gets people interested in historical fiction.
Well,
Was it-
I've seen it on his like historical fiction lists and things like that. So, yeah. Oh, and it's a short little thing.
It's under
It's like 200 pages, I think.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because you're trying to solve a crime hundreds of years after it's
Mhm.
with very little evidence. And what's fascinating, he's reading accounts of Richard III. And he's going through the account and saying, well, you know something? This account doesn't ring true.
Hmm.
why would the person would have lied while writing this?
Mm-hmm.
They'd lie out of ignorance or deliberately.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of mystery. I mean, it's not a traditional murder mystery in
Yeah.
any stretch of the imagination,
No, I like that though.
but I did read one of her other first novels, The Man in the Queue,
Okay.
which is a traditional murder mystery.
Yeah.
Which is
I've
also
heard
pretty
people
cool.
talk about Brat Farrar. I think is also
And
by
that's the
Josephine
character
Tay.
thing. Yeah. I'm bad with names. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember names very long. Cobalt Dragon. I have Holly on my TBR. I really like his character Holly too.
Mm-hmm.
Am
Yeah,
you familiar with that character?
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
really kind of a fascinating writing story.
It's a
Okay.
good series.
He's writing a series. It started with a book called Mr. Mercedes, where you have a detective trying to solve a crime, and people get introduced. New witnesses, and one of the people came in, this woman named Holly, which I'm going to say she's severely autistic.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that's the medically correct term.
You can say she's like kind of on the spectrum.
Somewhere on there.
On the spectrum. And she's living with her mother. Her mother's very controlling of her. But Holly has some very astute perceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And she was introduced in this book, Mr. Mercedes, as a secondary character. Not supposed to do anything else, but
Yeah.
Stephen King started writing this character. And he said, I can do more with this character.
Yeah.
And he brought her back in a second book, the third book. And the third book sort of ended this trilogy of this older detective. And he says, I still like Holly. She's a great character. And then he started bringing her back into more and more stories.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now she's evolved into this fully formed character.
Yeah.
And it starts off with her barely able to survive under her mother's care. And then the later book, she's a fully capable adult.
So she's kind of developed her own little arc.
She's still on the spectrum.
Okay.
And
I like that. I like when a character kind of takes on a life of their own that somebody
authors
didn't
talk about
expect.
that all the time. That say, I had plans for the character, and the character had other plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think
And
that's
there's
fun.
a lot of psycho characters in it too, and off the brain, and
Holly has some of the best villains Stephen King does.
yeah,
Oh,
funny.
really?
Just-
Okay.
I love the villains in that book.
I'll never forget the guy eating. Well, I'm not going to spoil.
Don't, Alan, you're on big book spoilers. It is.
Spoilers don't stress me, but I mean, people in the live.
Some people don't like him, so Alan has to learn to zip it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Pat says I didn't dislike Queen Esther. I just didn't think it's on par with Cider House Rules. Yeah, Pat, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So, well, what's her next question? I think Greg and I are on the same page.
Huh?
Look at that.
Garp's mother was great. The word undertow still haunts me from that book. Irving is in his 80s. I think he was born in 42. Still, I said it before. It's an impressive
amazing.
right in your 80s.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of people
impressive.
have lost their mind in their 80s. And some are
Yeah, my father said he going to be 84.
Yeah.
My dad. Yeah.
Well, and I think Wendell Berry just published a new novel this year, and he's in his early 90s.
Cool for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just goes to show about the human body, about how some minds just wear out.
Well, and I
guess-
think there's something to not stopping writing. Like I think there's something maybe to that just a little bit. Like if you stop, then it kind of starts to decrease a little quicker.
Mhm.
Yeah. Use it or
Constance,
lose it.
where does Garp land for you, Pat? Constance Garp was the first I read of Irving, so it has a special place in my heart. I think maybe it's 3 for me, 2 or number 3. I know you're number 1, Pat.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's a prayer for Owen Meany.
Mhm.
Same with me. For me, Garp is number 2, and Cider House Rules is number 3, and Queen Esther's number 4. That's all the all the Irving I've read.
Mhm.
Oh,
So maybe we will continue this Irving group, and I can read some more John Irving.
That would be fun.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm. Oh, Pat, I used to teach kids some Yiddish when we were studying Pete Hamill's novel, Snow in August. You've mentioned that as one of the
That's
books
so
you
cool.
love to teach. I've got it on audio that I should schedule for 2026.
I've read some Pete Hamill. I know he was like a journalist too. New York.
Get your Flannery O'Connor on. I love Flannery
Mhm.
O'Connor.
Yeah.
I used to teach a Rose for Emily. Very accessible Faulkner for high school kids.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
it has a
I
short
do too.
story that you will never forget that ending.
No.
What do we think of Isaac Behevis-Singer? I hope I'm getting his name right. You didn't put his B name in the middle. I may have gotten it wrong. I've only read a couple of his short stories,
Yeah, I
I
haven't
haven't read
read
anything.
any.
but
Me
he
neither.
he did win the Nobel Prize for Literature, and he wrote his short stories in Yiddish.
Oh.
Oddly enough, he is published by the Library of America in their series, and of course, they're all stories are translated from the
Mhm.
Yiddish. But he did become a naturalized citizen. Now, that's not totally unique. They also published Vladimir Nabokov,
Mhm.
who's also born in he is originally Russian and became a nationalized American. But the Library of America did not publish any of his early Russian novels. But Singer, I think, only wrote in Yiddish. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I was looking at Pete Hamill today.
Oh,
Yeah, Behevis-Singer. I have not heard of him until I moved to the East Coast. Now I have a whole shelf. Library of America has like 3 or 4 books of his short stories. I wanted to buy a boxed edition at one time, but they stopped printing it and
Hmm.
never got around to it. I had a book of his short stories years ago, really enjoyed them. Hamill makes me just want to go wander around New York in a romanticist way. He has a book called Forever.
Hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, is a story of a man who was born in like the 16th century when New York City was like New Amsterdam or whatever it was called back then. As long as he stays in New York City or on the island, he's not going to die of old age.
Oh.
no,
And
I've
it's
never.
to modern day.
I've not yet been to NYC. I've mentioned that once in a while. I know you have Greg, and have you, Emily?
No.
Yeah, I know I'd like it because I was a theater major as an undergrad at Kent State, and I like theater and off
Mm-hmm.
Broadway
I
and
do
off
too.
off Broadway and all that. So I love it.
Hamill makes me just want to go around. While I read that one. Frank, yeah, absolutely. That Greg sounds pretty cool. Wonder what she's referring to.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I love Fred Thursday and his most recent masterpiece series about Morse as a young cop, Endeavor. Elaine, LOL, Alan, now on to Hancock and
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Noted Hancock has a newer book, LOL. Not sure what he's into now.
She's talking about Graham Hancock.
Brian, Book Time with Ryan. I'm doing a top 10 for 2025.
Mm.
All
I
right,
can do
That'd
a
be
top,
fun.
I can do a top 10 and a bottom 10.
Oh, yeah, you should do that.
Now the problem is, do I include rereads in my top 10 or do I exclude rereads?
like for
Thanks,
me,
Lulu.
I pull them out and might say like this is my favorite reread of
Yeah.
the year. So I still acknowledge it, but it's not.
It kind of if you didn't, it would skew towards rereads.
Yeah.
Because you tend to reread the books that you can really love. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I guess you should do 3 top rereads, top reads, and
Yeah.
bottom 10.
Okay. Mhm.
I read The Third Burns, one is a new book. Formulaic writing for film scripts, songwriting books.
Mhm.
No.
Oh, Pat has to go. I have to go, friends. Lovely chat tonight. Thank you all. Very little creativity or innovation. I guess we're talking about the modern books.
Yeah.
Night, Pat. Take care. Wine says there might be some survivor bias. Lots of trash from the past that we don't talk. That's also very true.
There's
Michael
gonna be
Derrida,
trash from every era.
but Michael Derrida, who used to be a reviewer for the Washington Post, book review, recommended going to a used bookstore and finding books from the past that nobody's read in years,
Mhm.
and read it and say, what is this book like? I don't know. There's a place in Winchester, Virginia, that has a basement full of old books like that. They're all hardcovers. Most of them lost their dust jacket.
Oh wow.
And you can just tell these books have been there for like 30 years. And
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
But they're
sneeze
not
as soon as
read
I
them.
open it.
Well,
Maybe
what
I
are you waiting for, Greg?
I have all these books behind me that I have not read, and
The read what
there
you
you
own
go.
challenge.
read what you own.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be you'd have to go there periodically or dig through all that. It'd be fun. Dusty.
Okay, Constance says a fairly recent book that is not boring for you. Bliss Montage, stories by Ling Ma. She wrote Severance.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I hope writers today actually read books and not just listen to audiobooks. I know people have limited time, but reading a book and listening is not the same thing. They can be. I listen to a lot of audiobooks in my
Yeah,
life.
me too.
So there is and can be a bit of a difference. Like I was talking earlier about Silver Pigs, which
Mhm.
is a mystery set. Honestly, that kind of book works just fine, the same as in print as an audio. There are some more complicated literary books where the language itself is much more important. Those I can sort of see where you'd want to read them and not necessarily listen to them, but you can listen to them as well and still get a lot of depth and meaning out of them. Don't discount audiobooks because they're going through your ears instead of words going through your eyes. Ryan, is Emily in Tennessee? I miss
Close.
Southern accents.
Alabama. So close.
Roll Tide.
Ah, War Eagle.
Constance, a lot of formulaic adrenaline novels out there. Oh, hey, Brian. Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Faulkner went to Hollywood and wrote movies. As did Fitzgerald, Dorothy Parker. Writers of the past are driven by money as much as authors today. I do remember a quote from William Faulkner. He was assigned to write a script for a movie of some sort. And they're talking about this character. I think it was a war novel or something. And Faulkner says, "Can I have him talk like a Kentucky colonel?" Because he knows how Kentucky colonels talk.
Mm-hmm.
He may not know how a German officer would have talked.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Brian, I was just inviting Emily to Faulkner in August. So,
Michelle says, "I want to rent a home on the moors in Scotland with a giant fireplace, a trunk, and stacks of books, and spend a year reading."
Only if I can go too.
uh-huh.
I'd go too. You have lots of friends out there. Mhm. I don't think I can get my wife to go to Scotland, unfortunately.
Really?
At least long term. Maybe to
Oh, she likes the tropics. That's right.
the problem is she doesn't like gray, rainy days. And I think there's a lot of rain in Scotland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when I lived in Pacific Northwest, I'd walk out, oh, it's drizzled today. And my wife is going, it's drizzling
So
today.
sad. I would get tired of that after a while.
It's been an atmospheric river all week here in Portland. Yeah, it's been raining for 2 weeks. Rain gets more rain than Dublin, Ireland. My friends in Dublin didn't believe it at first. I sent them the chat GPT. It's true.
Alan, Virginia gets more rain than Seattle, Washington.
Oh, it does?
More rainfall than Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington has more rainy days. Because you just get a very light drizzle in Seattle and can go on for a couple hours. And Virginia, you just the skies open, the rain falls, and you move on. Yeah, bookish Texan. Don't know if you like the Coen brothers movies, but they had a fictional Hollywood Faulkner in their movie Barton Fink. Cool to watch if you know about. I think I've watched Barton Fink, but that was like in the 80s.
Yeah, me too. I'm having a hard time recalling that.
And I can't remember.
But I love the Coen brother from Detroit, Michigan.
Constance Shakespeare was very agenda-oriented politically. He writes so beautifully you don't notice. And Endeavor is a wonderful series, PBS every Sunday, now DVD, because I just have this routine thing. I like cheese and pickle sandwiches on Tuesdays. Red Thursday. I think I would go hungry if you offered me cheese.
I like pickles, but
I could skip a meal. No problem.
I need a
Michelle, I get a lot of reading and listening to books at the same time, depending on the book. Get a lot out of, yes, I do. I do that often, is where you just listen to the book and read it.
Yeah.
And if you don't engage certain parts of your brain when you listen to a book instead, you also get to examine the writer's choices with syntax. You can now. When you're listening to an audiobook, you can often hear the author's style of writing. I mean, it's really, the thing is, it's a skill listening to an audiobook. I mean, if you just stick it in your ear and just listen, you can get a lot, but there's a skill to reading it. And a lot of people who are critical of listening to audiobooks are people say, oh, I just can't understand it. I can't focus. I'm going, well, you're not engaging your brain in the right way.
Yeah.
The words are the same. You may not always get every comma. Now, one of the things, we'll just use John Irving as an example. He used lots of parentheses in his style, especially in Cider House Rules, not so much in Queen Esther. Listening to the audiobook, you may not necessarily pick that up.
Yeah.
But it may not be as important because you're still going to get the full range of characters and themes listening to the audiobook.
As audiobooks are interesting to me because I do listen to audiobooks. I'm kind of picky about the audiobooks I'd choose to listen to versus read, but to me it is different in the sense that a written book is meant to be, the author's writing it to be read and not necessarily intending there to be another mediator between you and the book. And sometimes that mediator doesn't necessarily provide a whole lot of intentional interpretation to a character's tone or something like that, but sometimes they do. And so sometimes it can influence your perception of the book without maybe intention or maybe in a way that it wouldn't have otherwise if you had read it. And I kind of think about it the same way as plays because I enjoy reading plays a lot, but
Yeah.
that's not how a play is meant to be seen. Like it's meant to be seen on
True.
stage.
Yeah.
You know, it's meant to be viewed in that forum and not the words just written on a page without getting to see the blocking and
Yeah.
things like that.
It's
point.
also, but also a good narrator can bring out things in text that
Oh, sure.
you would not pick up. Now I'm going to pick up on a book, A Rage in Harlem by Chester Himes.
Okay.
It is a mystery novel written in the 40s. It is set in Harlem. Characters are all black.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm not a black character growing up in New York City in Harlem, but the audiobook is narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good.
Now, he can understand a black character
The
Mhm.
inflections.
and
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
the inflections of the character to life. Where for me, I'd be hearing a white voice. Now, I don't like hear voices in my head, but
Mhm.
I would not be hearing those inflections that
Yeah.
exist. They're on the text, but you have to understand where they are.
Mhm.
He can understand it. I can't. So in that case, he definitely brought something to the text.
Yeah.
It could have fallen flat with just me reading it.
It's an interesting setup, you know, which I feel like is why I'm kind of picky about ones I pick as audiobooks versus ones I don't. But yeah, it's interesting.
Well, like I read Queen Esther on audio, and like I'm gonna like kind of redo it, like I mentioned, listen to it again for the group. But I would not recommend audio for Gravity's Rainbow, which Greg did like 20 years ago. Because
Not quite 20.
but yeah, I mean I couldn't do it without. Now I have read Gravity's Rainbow along with the audio, like you guys are saying. And I'll probably do it again in January and February too. I've done Audible, so it's all paid for anyway. But so I would recommend the audio for Queen Esther.
Okay.
Yeah, I listened to Secret of Secrets, Dan Brown on audio too.
Okay.
That was a long audio.
Hey, Courtney. Courtney showed up. Hey, y'all. At work.
Hello.
Hop in and say hello.
Hey, Courtney.
Nightshade is a fan of John Irving semicolons. Okay.
Cool. Me too.
Michelle, James Joyce reading and listening. That's how I did Ulysses.
Yeah.
I listened
Oh
to it.
yeah.
It's good because the readers were Irish and they
Oh yeah.
got the Irish cadence down. But again,
You got the lilt.
I can't do it. I mean, I can recognize it when they're speaking it, but I
Mhm.
can't reproduce it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the end of the comments. And Emily, we've been here 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking, Greg, you better get those comments, man. We're getting
yeah, maybe it's about time to call it even. I've been having a blast talking, but
Maybe
my
so.
voice is hoarse.
Yeah.
So Emily, any last comments?
Oh, this was just a lot of fun, and appreciate y'all inviting me on. This has been really cool. This is
yeah, thanks a lot.
only
Emily.
kind of well, I guess I did a live stream with Dr. November, but besides that one, this is only the second one I've ever done. So it's been fun.
It is. I call this my pub night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if
Perfect.
I had friends that lived in the area, we'd all get to the pub, talk books like this. But
Mhm.
instead, I
Oh,
talk on the internet.
At least Alan and I had a little beverage, but
Yeah, you didn't have any cervezas, did you?
Oh, I had a drink.
What's that? What'd you have?
It was not pure Coca-Cola. We'll just say
Oh, rum and Coke.
that.
Yeah,
Something
Greg
like
likes
that.
rum too.
All right, Emily. I'm glad you showed up.
yes, I appreciate y'all.
I'm
This has
glad
been fun.
everyone who stuck around in the comments. So,
Yes, it was a great
that's what
show.
it was. It was a great show. Well, everyone, have a great night and have a good week. We'll talk to you later. Now, we are going to be off for 2 weeks as I go on my cruise next week. All right, everyone.
Surprise
Have a
guest.
good night.